Hello, guys. So it's another episode of the onXRP podcast. I'm your host, Lee, and today we've got XRPJunkies. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Thank
thanks for
you.
having us.
Yeah, I appreciate you having us.
No worries. It's our absolute pleasure. So, XRPJunkies, what is it?
So generally, we're just a collection of 10K NFTs. We're backing our NFTs with utility in the form of a game, and that's something that we've been working on right now. We've released some little snippets, some sneak peeks of it on Twitter. It's going really well. We have our game developer here, Kyle, and he's an absolute monster. He's kicking the progress up.
Absolutely. And are these play-to-earn games, or?
Yeah, so we aim to have play-to-earn mechanics. Right now, we are doing it within the leaderboard section, so a lot of manual payouts, a lot of kind of off-chain things to start, and then we eventually want to move on to be fully on-chain. Well, that takes time. So, we want to have those play-to-earn mechanics as soon as possible. I think Kyle can go a little bit more in depth of what we're trying to do with it. If you want to have a shot at it, Kyle.
Yeah, definitely. Instead of, I guess, deep diving on the focus of what those play to earn mechanics would be, the first thing I want to do is kind of step back because there's a lot of play to earn games coming out that are taking on something they might not understand the gravity of, or just how much of an investment it takes to make these things secure. One big game that I always push to as an example is Amazon's New World that recently launched. Amazon spent $300 million plus on it over 8 years in development, hundreds of people, including some industry legends like John Smedley, who made the first 3D MMORPG back in 1998. So and that game comes out, and there is a gold duplication bug within its economy, which happens in almost every MMO launch, and to accommodate for that. But that just crushed their economy, review bombed the game. Now that's just in a game you have purchased. Imagine if each bit of that gold was linked to your actual money. They're already being sued when that's not the case. So what it really needs to do and progress towards is on-chain logic, and where everything's heading that direction, but it's not there yet. But there's lots of ways to kind of play around those factors. And what we want to do is be able to provide the experiences you can as early as possible to the community and get them invested within the space as we keep developing and evolving on the technology right alongside it. So that's what we're really interested in pushing forward.
Absolutely. And have you guys got a kind of a long-term view to be involved with your games with metaverse and things like that? Because that seems to be where the gaming space is going at the moment. So is that somewhere where you guys are going in the future, or?
Yeah, no, we definitely want to incorporate some of those aspects because the metaverse, like you said, is a growing industry within like the gaming space, and bringing on different projects, incorporating them within our Junkiverse is something that we've looked at. We have plans to do, whether that happens in 6 months, a year, 2 years. It really just depends on how this space progresses and what we can make happen.
Okay, great. Let's go back to inception state. Oh, do you want to add to that, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say on the metaverse side, you might have seen John Carmack, who created Doom and id Softworks. He's been at Oculus. He's the reason why Quest now Meta. He's the reason why Quest 2 is as powerful and awesome as it is. He stated publicly, he said, you won't make the metaverse by going out and trying to make the metaverse. Like, that's not how this works. They'll still become walled gardens. Like, to me, the only way it works is if we come up with a consortium now and create the standards that power it, just like JPEG was in the early internet. So one of our other big hopes is that we can make those connections with some of the top like metaverse providers to create the standards that will power the metaverse, because it's either going to be us and by that I mean the collective us of this open community, or it's going to be a company like Meta that's going to define the meta standards that power the metaverse. And that's the opposite of what this is all about. So that's another point of passion in it. So I think that it's always a good idea for these projects to remain open of the possibility of crossing over these worlds and art assets in a consistent way.
No, absolutely. Because like my son, he's got an Xbox, right? And he spends an absolute fortune on Fortnite skins or FIFA points where he wants to buy the latest player. And then basically he changes the computer and all that value goes, right? I've spent thousands of pounds on these items, right? So I'm like, what, you want more now? So I'm like, can't you transfer these to another game or to another...
Right.
So we need value to be, do you know, like how Ripple is kind of connecting chains and kind of communities and making cross-border transactions seamless, right? And interoperability with other systems. We need the gaming industry to go that way, right? Where you can actually change value, and it's like almost like an NFT type marketplace where you can trade things for one another. And if you've got a cool Spider-Man suit, why can't I sit in Grand Theft Auto and drive my car in it, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Because that's really where gaming should go, I think. What's your thoughts on that?
Definitely. Definitely. I completely agree. And there's a lot of these projects now are starting to show assets like 3D models and stuff. And there's kind of a thought that like it's a 3D model, it'll work across everything. And that is not the case. You do months on a professional game project of just solidifying the art pipeline. The technicals are very specific and embedded into the art itself. So it's going to take a long time before those standards are built. But the bigger thing too is that that's not really what the token can be read in any way. So, you might have bought it as a gun in one game, but in this fantasy game now it's just a potion or something. And right now, a lot of these companies I think feel threatened on opening up like that because they feel like it'll take away from their experience and stuff. So they're building these wall gardens, but like really to me, it gives them more exposure. And then there's the whole secondary market aspect of it. Like you said, that thing's value can continue to grow throughout experiences throughout it. So you have to embrace the decentralized nature of it.
And absolutely. And that's the way the gaming industry has to go, right? So what I want to do, I want to go back to the beginning of XRPJunkies. Kind of where the idea was born from. Was it kind of like just a load of mates sat around like in a pub having a few beers, chilling? How kind of did it come around? I'd be really interested to know that.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a funny story. I met Lawrence or Bland Joe back when I was 12 years old. We met on a Minecraft server actually. And we've known each other ever since, and we've dabbled around creating Minecraft servers, doing different projects, being the young age of 13, 14. As we kind of grew older, we finally decided, you know what, let's actually meet up. We're both in college now, we're in our 20s. Let's hang out, let's have a couple beers. And he came to Austin, Texas. I picked him up from the airport, and he just started telling me about this project he was working on, this NFT thing on Wax. And I had no idea about NFTs or blockchains or anything like that. So he was explaining it to me. We kind of got deep into it, and I said, you know what? Okay, I got some art that I was working on for this indie 2D game that I was trying to show my professor. And we took a shot at it, looked at it. We decided to go through with the project. And I guess, here we are today.
Wow. So how does
two Minecraft guys?
Two Minecraft guys, and then you've got Kyle the gaming king, right? So when does Kyle come into play?
Yeah, so we met Kyle through Field on Bacon. So we were looking for a dev team to help us out because we had a very ambitious idea of creating a game on a brand new space, XRPL. And so we reached out to Field on Bacon. They liked our project. We really vibed with the guys. We decided to go through with them, and we met Kyle through them. And Kyle's been one of us ever since. So
great. Right, why XRPL?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the XRP was something we've always known about, and I, like Jake said, I messed around with Wax, I messed around with Ethereum, but when I actually was out there in Texas, Jake's dad is a big XRP guy, And he starts telling us, because we're talking to him about the project, and our ideas, and he brings up the fact that Ripple's pushing for NFT capabilities on their blockchain, on the ledger, and it really was like, okay, it's a new space. We checked it out a little bit, and we've looked at ETH and seen how like saturated some of their market has become, and we really just liked the idea of something fresh, something cool, and the gas fees here are non-existent. There's so many benefits that we see with the XRPL and what this space can actually become that we just kind of decided to shoot our shot and go for it here, and we've been loving it since then.
How loyal the
Great.
community is. The XRP army, they're insane. Being able to start a project with just 2 people in their rooms and posting one tweet on Twitter and being able to blow up in a matter of days is just amazing, and it shows the capabilities of this space, where we can go in the future.
Absolutely. Right, what we're going to do now, I'm going to ask you an interesting question. We're going to go around the room. What was the first crypto you ever bought?
Bitcoin for me.
Bitcoin
I think it was
Bitcoin. Yeah.
I think it was XLM actually. I downloaded Coinbase,
Was it?
and the first thing that I could get free XLM from was this little quiz I took, and I got free XLM, and I bought $20 more of it. So yeah, that was XLM.
XLM. What about you, Kyle? I'm interested in yours.
I'm trying to come up with a good lie to give you, but I really can't. Because my first was some SHIB coins.
Some what? Sorry.
And I still have some SHIB coins.
Oh, wow.
Some Shiba Inu coins, and I'm still holding those. By the way, buddy, I'm a holder. No, yeah. So I've always been interested in the space. I think that was my first real investment in it and stuff. So I'm very interested in the blockchain technology and using NFTs for a lot of different purposes and stuff. But it's always been on my mind. But it wasn't. I was doing some other contracting until recently that kept me from thinking too deeply on it. So it kept me from investing until this point. But I'm keeping those SHIB coins. You can't have them.
What drew you to those? Was it the community, or what drew you to those coins?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was just kind of the craziness in the market and stuff, and feeling the sense of camaraderie with the Reddit traders and stuff like that. So it was a lot of the GME stuff that kind of knocked me into it. I started my life at GameStop. I started there when I was 16 years old and was an assistant manager by 18 and stuff like that. So yeah, so that was a cool rally to watch for me. So
no, that's cool. So let's talk about people's long-term view on where they want to go individually and where you want to go as a project. And I'd like to go around the room because goals might be different, right? So I'm going to go to Jake first. What's your long-term view for you personally and for XRPJunkies?
To be a fully functioning play-to-earn game. We want to be fully on-chain. We want to have a wide audience with different projects being incorporated as playable characters. We have huge ambitions for XRPJunkies and the whole junkie first and all. And I really do see it being something special, and it's going to be something that we're going to be forever working on. It's our baby. It's our first real project. So.
Absolutely. So right now we're going to fast forward 10 years. What's Jake doing in 10 years? Is he still an XRP junkie, or is he 100% with kids?
Oh yeah, I think I can play both at the same time.
Yeah,
both.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think XRPJunkies is going to be something I'll hold on to forever. I'm deeply invested in this. I'm deeply invested in the community. I've met some really great people, and I've made some really close friends just doing this. And it's going to be something I hold on to forever, yeah.
Good. What about you, Carl?
Yeah, that's the big thing that sticks with me when he says that. I still to this day play emulated EverQuest from 1999. With the same guys every decade. We rise from our slumber and play through the same 3 expansions over and over again together. So and such a cool and supportive community, and I can see like how kind of the metaverse and this tokenization and blockchain tech can put us there. And then I see the passion and the patience of the XRP community. So I think that should be rewarded in the support of this project through delivering what we can as quickly as we can, give them these experiences early, knowing what is safe, instead of just giving false promises that there's going to be this awesome PT game and somehow it's not going to be, problematic in any sense. So, yeah, so that's what I see in the short term and what we can do, and I guess in the long term on the XRP side. So I'm also very hopeful. It's been very cathartic with the conflicts that are going on right now. I'm not pretending to be an expert on the Ukraine or anything, but I was very surprised with just how many people and awesome developers I met in the space that worked in Ukraine, including some of our main developers at Fueled on Bacon at our agency. So we've been hamstrung by that and doing what we can to support on that. And I really think that misinformation and now deepfake technology is coming so rapidly, AI manipulation, and I can see NFTs and this technology being a great way to validate and have a point of authenticity. So I'm hoping that all of this fun, all of this building of games and stuff like that helps us, build a better humanity tomorrow too. So, and these communities give me so much hope. I feel more optimistic now than I have in a long time, just hanging out in these communities of complete degenerates, dude. But everybody is so smart and so focused on something, and it's so incredible. You'll just hear, somebody you wouldn't expect it from will just get up and just preach on something, and you're like, wow, man. So I feel good for the first time and optimistic about where things are heading. So
lovely. Thank you for answering that, Carl. What about you, Lawrence?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, kind of piggybacking off them, the project has been something incredible because, like I said before, I worked on some other projects, but I never had one of my own. And, like Jake said too, is like some of the guys and girls we've met in this community, we talk to for hours. Just some community members will hop into Discord calls and talk to for, countless hours just about, how they're doing, how their life's going, tell them about what we're doing. So we've really built like a community that we, I can name, 20 people that just I go to, and like if I need their help or they need my help, I'm there for them. So, the goal of building this play to earn game is ambitious. And, we've understood that, in the beginning, it was like, oh, we can, do this, and we're going to be good. But it's, it takes time, and our community understands that. And it's really cool to see that. In the long term, Jake and I are both finishing up college this semester, and, I'm a business management major and computer science minor, and I'm hoping to, on top of the project, get certified in a few programming languages, and have that so I can take on some more work for the project and help build out cool tools at the same time. So it's kind of where I'm at.
Lovely. Well, fantastic. Cheers, Lawrence. Right, I'm going to go the nostalgic route with questions now, right? First computer game you ever played? I want to go this route because it always kind of gets smiles and it takes us back to our childhoods, right? So, first game, Jake, over to you.
I think mine was Realm of the Mad God, actually. I was playing it, I think in elementary or middle school. I'd sneak into the computer labs and hop in on that. I downloaded the VPN, actually, because it couldn't access that website back then. But yeah, I'd sit there for hours, skipping a couple classes. So yeah, it's Realm of the Mad God.
What about you, Kyle?
Oh man, you're gonna make me sound old. I have faint memories of Sim Ant when my dad brought home one of our earliest computers. I was like 4 at the time. And then the main one that I remember playing a lot with my friends was id Software's Commander Keen that brought soft scrolling to PC. So thanks, John Carmack, again.
Absolutely. What about you, Lawrence?
So I'm definitely a little more bland than both of these guys. I mean, my first, because I never had, consoles or computers until about seventh grade. Before that, I had a Nintendo 64, and played a little bit of Smash and some Donkey Kong, just some of those kind of games. I was definitely a Pokemon kid, but computer game wise, it was definitely Minecraft. It was my first computer game. I put a lot of time into it. Like Chick said, it was something really cool. Never really played the basic Minecraft. It was always like the modded, servers and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely was Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm going to show my age now, right? Really show my age. Mine was the paddle game where like you had this
Oh,
going
yeah,
around the
yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Space Raiders, Pac-Man. My first computer was what was it? I don't know if it was a Commodore 64 or a Spectrum. I can't remember. Man, like you had to actually put cassettes in them to make them
Wow.
play, and basically it come untangled every now and then, so you had to get a pencil back into it so you could actually load your game. I used to love those games, man. But then the whole gaming industry got revolutionised by handheld gaming, right? And I had a Game Boy.
Yeah.
I loved the Game Boy because I could just carry it around with me, right? And it was good. But the thing was, you had the cartridges you had to put in the back, which were like big SIM cards, weren't they? Yeah. So you had to put those in the back of your computer, and you had to carry this like suitcase around with you with your games in, yeah. But then the big change for me was when Atari bought out the Lynx, which it basically brought out colour in gaming from a handheld point of view, and that's what changed the game and the way I envisage games. And when I hear about play-to-earn games and giving power back to the community and people, as well as working within a community, I can see this shift again because I think it's going to revolutionise gaming.
Yeah, definitely
right?
agree.
And like Bitcoin, and when, do you know, like for instance, when I read the white paper, I was like, wow, I love it. Right, I saw holes in it, right? And it was revolutionised giving power back to people. Lovely ideology, kind of thinking from one particular individual, right? And I love the idea and concept behind Bitcoin, yeah? But like gaming, it triggers emotion, right? Like when you pick up your first game and you're playing it and you can talk to other people and you can share your experiences and value can transfer. That's where we're going in this world. And like for my son, I realise like he plays with friends online, yeah, who he's never even met in person, similar to Jake's and Lawrence's relationship. Then all of a sudden you're lifelong friends and you're creating projects together, right? And yeah, it's just great to see. It's great to see. Next question. Where are we going to go with this? We are now going to go back to. We're going to go back to education and teacher. Who's your favourite teacher and why? Who made the biggest impact in your life to where you are today? Let's go, Jake.
My gosh, that's a very tough one. I wasn't too fond of any of them growing up. I'd probably have to say maybe my second semester, my second semester of college, my computer science professor, when I did my first line of code of Python. He really pushed me, and he wasn't the nicest. He always called me out in the middle of class. I was always a few minutes late, but I just joined the Zoom calls, and he'd call me out and ask me these specific questions, but it really pushed me to actually understand and to research, and I started to fall in love with it. And I started doing things on my own, started messing around with different gaming platforms, and I took a dabble at Unity, had nothing to do with that. Kyle's a Unity guy, but he really pushed me. He told me to create this tank game, and if I made this tank game, I could fly through the semester and I wouldn't have to take another test. So I took a shot at it, and I created a tank game. It wasn't the best, but I created a tank game. And he gave me 102 of my test scores. So, he really did push me, and he was a great guy, and I really appreciate him for that. I actually still talk to him today. I give him updates about the project and where we're going, and he's been a great supporter.
Oh, great story. Lovely to hear. Jack, Kyle, what about you?
Man, I don't remember much of anything, so that's very difficult. I had a science teacher. I had a science teacher, I think about 6th grade, Mr. Young, I believe his name was, and we did a lot of, I remember making a lot of Morse code, integrated circuits and stuff, and was like expanding that electrical system. And he worked really closely to, identify and kind of inspire people on those. He's just had boxes of parts too of like PCB boards and old RAM sticks and stuff. So we would like Frankenstein computers together and do weird things. So that really always inspired. I mean, I didn't do any colleging, so I don't have anybody to say from there. But I think Mr. Young in 6th grade has had a big push in sending me down this direction.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Carl. What about you, Lawrence?
Yeah, so I got a little bit of time to think. So I'd say mine was Miss Mayo in 4th grade. That was like a time where I was just like, had some hardships. I lost my grandma and stuff like that. And she was like one of those teachers who was kind of like your mom. She was there for me through a lot of things. And, she kind of brought me out of my shell, out of my shell when I was younger. There was a lot of things, that she did, as like a person to, kind of lift me up and bring me, challenge me with different things, whether it came to like sports or, trying new things, trying new skills. And, it was 4th grade, but it was still one of those, formative years, in a sense. So I would say it was her for sure.
Actually, I kind of want to.
Lovely, and I appreciate the honesty.
I actually have a better one that popped up into my head. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't. It's not a teacher per se. It's actually my father. My dad is the one who taught me about the entire XRPL space. Who taught me mainly about NFTs, and he has been there every step of the way. I can't, knock him down for that. Even though it might frustrate me a little bit with all the ideas and random questions that he has constantly, but he's always been there. And one instance I can remember, we had our first meeting with a connection with Ripple, and we were super nervous for it. I was like, all right, Dad, I just need some space. I need to like focus on what's to come. And he's like, yeah, for sure. So we're in the meeting with Ripple, and I look over to my corner. I can see the doorway, and I see a shadow just standing right there. And I was like, oh my gosh, he is standing out there listening. And so I was trying to speak and talk and explain some things to people, and it's just I see him in the corner, and he just peeks over. You can see his eyes trying to see the screen. And I'm just like,
this makes it worse.
Oh my gosh! But other than that, he's heavily invested. It tells me all these ideas 24/7. Just hands me notes when I'm working, and a lot of them are just like drawings with pencil of some dragons or something he wants me to create in voxel. But he's awesome. So yeah, the best teacher right there.
So your dad, is he a community? Is he a community member?
Yeah, he's heavily invested into it, and he's a part of our project too. He handles some business forms of things and advises us.
Wow.
I'd like to change my answer to Jake's dad as well. Sorry, Mr. Young.
Right. Well, what Jake touched upon, was family, right? And family involvement. And obviously, he's got the support of his father and that. Kyle and Lawrence, I want to kind of get an idea and a feel for your families and how supportive they've been on this journey with XRPJunkies. So, talk to me about the support and how that's been.
I guess, my family, I talk to them a lot about it. So I'm close with my mom and my dad. But I'm up at school right now, so I'm not living at home anymore. So I see them time to time, and over Christmas break especially, I filled my family in about what we were doing, what we wanted to do. Kind of showed my mom. She was like, "Oh, can I set up a XM wallet? Like, how do I do this? How do you get me some XRP?" And she's like, she does a lot of things, and she was in like a group chat for like crypto traders. And I was just dying because she told me, she's like, oh yeah, these guys are saying to buy XRP, and then like, some bad news will come out. And she's like, oh, you have to sell your XRP, and she's still so like new with any of the understanding the FUD and different things like that. But no, she's very supportive. She always asks me about it. And they saw my experience with the last project I worked on, and that was Immersis on the Wax blockchain. That was he's a friend of mine, and his older brother's been making a metaverse over there. And so like she saw me do all that stuff all over summer when I was back at home, and working on that. And this too, like we work like more than we should to like stay healthy, but it's a good time, and they're both very supportive. So
Good. Thank you, Lawrence. And a great story about your mum in XRP chat rooms. Sell your XRP.
Oh gosh.
She's spotting for you.
Exactly.
Mom's against FUD.
What about you, Kyle? Friends and family and your support mechanism, and what they think about your journey you're taking so far?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. My wife thinks it's neat, and the cat remains unimpressed.
Okay.
One day I'll get her though.
Yeah, what's the cat's name? Like, I've never really got on with cats. They kind of look at me and they're a bit mystical. I'm a dog man myself, right?
Yeah.
And I used to have a cat when I was growing up, yeah, and it used to be called Gizmo, like from the Gremlins. That was why we called it Gizmo, yeah.
Nice.
And it just stood there and looked. It just stood there and looked at you all the day. I never really got why cats like. I'm like, yeah, no, not
Just
for
judges
me.
you. Just constant judgment.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
what they're for.
Yeah, so yeah, but maybe they're like a different form of my wife or something, because I do get a lot of judgment.
Exactly.
From that side of the fence.
Yep.
Oh, great. So, where's next for you guys? Really, in terms of your roadmap. So, I'm trying to get an idea of Phil. I think I'm getting to know you guys now. Yeah, I'm knowing your product. Yeah, so. Obviously, in terms of your roadmap, you've sketched this out. You've got experience, especially Lawrence, with being involved with projects, and you, Carl, and Jake, right? So, when and where are the community going to expect things to be done? From
So actually, we have something pretty exciting coming out. We have a little game demo that we're doing, and we posted a poll on Twitter to kind of see what direction we wanted to take with it. So we are creating a horde mode. I guess you can kind of relate it to COD Zombies. So we're going to be releasing that to the public. You don't have to have junk to play to try it out. It's going to be 100% free. So that's another big milestone that we're going to have is public testing. I think we're hopefully moving on to a alpha test soon as well, when everything gets settled with 20D and everything, of course. But yeah, the next big step is this horde mode. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So I'm assuming you've got like message rooms and stuff like that. Have you got a Discord or a Telegram or something like that where like your community members and that's kind of
we primarily use Discord.
Yeah.
Jinx.
What was
I said
that,
we
sorry?
primarily use Discord for most of the community stuff. We've been doing some cool stuff in there, and we're do some game nights and stuff. But like Jake was kind of saying, piggybacking off that, the game demos are our first big thing. We want to let some of the community have something tangible to where they can kind of experience, at least in a small sense, what the game will like encompass. But game development takes time, so getting this out is going to be really cool.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's super early, but we're already having fun playing it. So it might as we want to show that.
Absolutely. So, guys, honestly, I've really enjoyed our chat today. Actually, I really have, and I really want to appreciate. I want to thank you all for the honest answers that you all gave me, and they're probably questions that you didn't expect, right? And I'm glad that you played along with me. So I really do appreciate you guys. Yeah. I'd like to obviously have you guys back on in the future to see where you are in 6 months' time, because I think you're going to be quite far into roadmap, and I think you're going to be because by the sounds of it, you're working long hours to bring something to the community in a tangible way. So I'd like to kind of reconvene
Yeah,
in 6 months
100%.
to see where you are, in your journeys individually and as a project as well. So please come back on, and I just want to thank you again for
Yeah,
your
thank
time
you.
Thank you
today,
for
guys.
having us. Enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
we'll definitely be showing back up for this. This is fun.
Good.
Thanks,
Right,
Lee. It was an absolute pleasure. Take care.
Thank you. Anyway, that's another podcast from onXRP and myself, and we will see you all next time.